I've been designing cars and building cars since I was 16. I've been into cars all my life. It comes from a family where my dad was into cars, my stepdad was into cars, and it's run right down the bloodline into what I am and what I do today. In 2004, December, SCION released its TC. I bought one immediately at the end of December. It took 3 weeks for the car to actually come in, and during that time the car that I was driving decided to blow up. So I called the dealership and asked them if there's any way I could get my silver TC sooner than possible. So the representative that I talked with at the dealership said, we don't have any silver ones, we're still gonna have to wait for it, but we can give you a Flint mica TC. So I picked up the Flint mica TC. When I first bought the TC, I had bought it with pure intentions of stripping it down, so I didn't buy it with many options. So I took it to another body shop and asked them to install one of their first wide body kits that they had. While getting the car installed, I had thought many times about the paint and what colors I had wanted to do with it. And I had a friend of mine, and I'd really developed a liking for the paint job that he had on his car. It was a candy orange paint, and I decided that I was going to give it a shot. So I took the vehicle down to the paint shop after they got done with the body work and had it re-sprayed with this candy orange. Nowadays, although it's known as the Pumpkin or Cinderella's Lamborghini, I just happen to think it's a pretty hot car. A couple of the other things that I've done to the car is I have a real fascination with the deep dish. Nothing I love more on a car than a nice fat lip, so I went with a staggered set of 19-inch wheels. The suede that a lot of the high-end Lexuses and the 300Cs that the guys are building nowadays also kind of caught my fancy, so I went and wrapped the whole interior in suede. A lot of things that I still have intentions on doing are building the stereo up a little bit, and I'm currently in the process of building the East Coast's first twin-charge TC to have both a supercharger and a turbocharger installed on the vehicle, and hopefully that gets done soon, as it's one of the big dreams or accomplishments I'd like to reach by the end of this year. Once I finally got the car built, I started going to a bunch of shows. Just basically local shows I didn't have to drive too far to. And I made a couple contacts with some guys in the area. One of the biggest car clubs in our area, WR Team. Not really a quantity of a lot of cars, but the cars that they have were a lot of quality cars. During the 2005 season, while I was building the car, WR Team actually won top team in the country. And from that point on, I knew they were something that I wanted to strive to reach as a goal. Not just to hang out with the guys that I thought were, the cool guys, but to also be able to rep with, some of the hardest hitters in the country. So this past year, once the car finally got out, I called the president of the club, Sean Baker, and talked to him about my car. And a few of the guys came out, checked the car out, and said that it was, good to go. So this whole past season, I showed with WR Team, and we concluded the season in 2007 with a 13-0 record. We won every show we went to, and eventually won the 2007 National Custom Car Association Championship. Along the way, I met a lot of SCION owners, some local people, bigger names in the SCION industry, and really built some relationships with them as well. Just through talking with them and some of the contacts, we've really developed a family of sorts. I joined up with some of the guys from SCION Evolution, and I just love hanging out with those guys. One of SCION's biggest things as far as a company with their owners is that they love when owners express their originality. Personally, for me, I built a car that I think is a cool car, and the one nice thing about my car in this industry that we live with and that we compete with and travel with every weekend is that you really get a chance to be who you are and express yourself through your car. You pay, in my situation, thousands of dollars for a body kit and thousands of dollars for paint and hundreds of dollars for the seats and the mirrors and the stereos, and it can be a really expensive scene to get into. However, one of the things that I think most people find with SCION is that you can show up to a show with the car you just picked up from the dealership, or you can show up with a car that you brought in on your trailer rolling on $10,000 wheels, and everyone is going to treat you just the same as they would anybody else, because they all know that even the people up here that have the money and the people down here that might not have so much money, they both have that drive and they both have a respect and appreciation for the same vehicle.